Hi, welcome back. Before the break, we were looking at the process of mitosis. If you have a look at this slide, it is an example of a photograph taken down a microscope, and it very clearly shows one cell. I think you can see that this is a plant cell, not an animal cell, and you've got the chromosomes and they've split. And do you think you can identify what stage of mitosis this is? They're not lined up on the equator. They're already starting to pull towards the poles. So you're looking here most definitely at anaphase. Now, mitosis isn't the only kind of cell division that we have. Another very important kind of cell division takes place in your reproductive organs, and that is meiosis. Now, why on earth is there a need for having a different kind of cell division? Let's have a look at what happens when sexual reproduction takes place. You are going to have a normal body cell with 46 chromosomes in the testes, and you're going to have a normal body cell in the ovaries, 46 chromosomes. These cells are going to undergo the process of meiosis. And that process of meiosis is going to, we can see very effectively, 46 divided by 2 is going to halve the number of chromosomes to get us to having an ovum, which is the female gamete, and the sperm, which is the male gamete, each with 23 chromosomes. When fertilization takes place, the 23 chromosomes from the male gamete combines with the 23 chromosomes from the female gamete, and we're left with a zygote. The product of fertilization is called a zygote, and it has 46 chromosomes. And you can see that we're kind of back to the state that we were before this process of meiosis. Then mitosis can continue, normal cell division, producing cells that are identical, as we've just seen, and we can get an embryo that has a whole lot of cells, and that embryo can grow into a fetus. So we can see that this process of meiosis happens in the testes, in the ovaries, in order to reduce the number of chromosomes. But why? Okay, we know that we have a diploid or 2n chromosome number, and we're reducing that to an n chromosome number. In humans, we're looking at 46 and we're looking at 23. Why? I keep asking you why. It's important that you understand that it doesn't just happen, but there is a reason for it. We know that the gametes that are produced are haploid, and very importantly, they are non-identical to each other, and they are non-identical to the parent cell that produced them. So it seems like we've got two consequences or results of meiosis. And it's very important that you understand that meiosis doesn't just happen to halve the number of chromosomes, but it also happens to produce variation in those gametes, so that the cells that are produced are not identical. They're not clones of the parent cell. So we keep saying why? Why meiosis? Why is it important? Two purposes: to reduce the number of chromosomes from 2n to n. Now you need to understand that if we're going to have a sperm cell and an egg cell combining, and each has got 46 chromosomes in it, we've got a problem, because when they combine, that is not going to be a human number of chromosomes. We need to reduce the number of chromosomes before we can put the sperm and the egg together. That is the first purpose of meiosis, and it's also to bring about genetic variation. It is not going to, it's in the interests of the organism, for survival purpose, for them to have genetic variation, for them not to be identical to the parents. Now, what you have in each one of your body cells is homologous chromosome pairs. And what do we mean by homologous chromosome pairs? Well, you have inherited one set of chromosomes from your mother, one set of chromosomes from your father, and in each one of your cells you therefore have a double set of chromosomes. And those chromosomes that are replications of each other, or copies of chromosome 1, a copy of chromosome 2, and so on, they are called homologous chromosomes. And they each code for the identical protein. They code for the same gene at exactly the same place. Something that often puzzles students, the difference between homologous chromosomes and chromatids. Remember that this one came from maybe the mother, this one came from the father, and in terms of chromatids, it's a single piece of DNA that has replicated itself and is held together by the little centromere. And so we're going to be looking at meiosis after the break, and we're going to be having a look to see exactly how this process takes place. You might want to get yourself a piece of paper so that you can copy down the diagrams. This is the very important process that you need to be able to understand in exactly how each stage takes place. So I'll catch you after the break.